Welcome to this TryVibeTV.com athlete interview sponsored by Progenics, and we're here right now with Dave Lipson. First of all, Dave, thanks for joining us and giving us your time, and talk a little bit about your relationship with Progenics and how it's contributed to your training efforts for the CrossFit Games.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jim. Appreciate you having me. Progenics has been great. They were really the first major sponsor in CrossFit. In 2008, there were a couple of companies there, but no one was officially sponsoring people. Then around 2009, in the off season, Progenics came around and started introducing their products to some athletes, and then eventually started sponsoring them. And it's been a big help to me personally. Not just because protein powder is expensive. I go to GNC and I didn't really have a supplement sponsor or anything like that, and I'd probably end up spending somewhere along the lines of $100 a month just on protein powder or supplement related things alone. So when they first came around and said, try our product, and Aaron Thomas just handed me a bag, and I was like, sweet. And at that point, I really didn't care about whether it was like the most effective protein or not. I just was happy to get free protein. But after taking it for a while, I could tell that it was just really good stuff. It was clean. It was very simple and really easy to digest. And in a period of probably 6 to 8 months, I made a lot of gains. And I'm not gonna make a claim like Progenics is responsible for the gains that I made in my athletic performance, but I will say that while I experienced these gains, Progenics was part of my nutritional program, and you can take that for what it's worth. And I'm certainly very happy to have their stuff coming in the mail every once in a while. Aside from that, the guys at Progenics are awesome. I mean, Aaron Thomas is the rep that deals with me, and he's just a good guy. He's a good friend. He calls up to see how I'm doing. We shoot the shit. He tells me about new stuff, tries to come up with ways that we can improve products or get it out to more people, or find ways to make the agreement between the athletes and the sponsors, how to get more reciprocity so we're all kind of benefiting together. And of all the different companies that have tried to just sort of slap a sponsorship on it, on athletes at the games, I feel like Progenics doesn't just do a sponsorship, but it's almost more of a partnership where we're collectively trying to introduce a good product into a growing market, and they're assisting the athletes not just with their nutritional program and providing them good supplements, but they're also helping them with their training by subsidizing things financially and creating ways for athletes to have the time and money to devote to training. So I love those guys over there.
Well, now talking about your training and your athletic background, obviously there's a lot to it because you've been at it for so long, played baseball, now doing CrossFit, but just kind of touch on your baseball background, pro and before, and then how it led to this CrossFit career that has really taken off for you.
Oh, thanks. I was a baseball player. I'll always be a baseball player. It's not that ends when you leave the field. My grandfather was like 80 years old, and he still referred to himself as a ball player because there's something about playing baseball that just sticks with you forever. So I played since I was a little kid. I started when I was 8 years old and played Little League and high school, college, and then professional baseball. And I got to live out a lot of my dreams that I spawned in the backyard while I was playing catch with my dad and their friends. And, when I was training for baseball, I'd always come home every off season, and in minor league baseball, you don't get paid through the year; you only get paid in season. So most of the guys, unless you were like a bonus baby and you just had unlimited funds, would take some type of off season job, either coaching or doing something to make a little extra cash. And I really loved training, not just training myself, but I loved researching strength and conditioning and trying to make other athletes better, or take high school kids and try and get them into college or get scholarships. And I would do kind of like a baseball training / strength and conditioning program for kids. which kind of segued into a career once I decided to leave baseball. But I came across CrossFit just very randomly in the off season. I'd taken a job in Manhattan. I was training people, working at a gym, and the girl who was my training partner, and don't be confused when I say there was a girl that was my training partner. This chick was legit. She was a coworker of mine, and she was ridiculously strong, like a former bodybuilder, gymnast, and we really pushed each other. And I loved that because I was trying to prepare for spring training. Well, she came across CrossFit one day because for everything we would do with strength, she loved to try and beat me at some type of gymnastics, something or other. And I liked it because I wasn't as versed in the gymnastics as she was. And we came across CrossFit and we did a couple of the workouts, and we decided that we would go and try to find an affiliate in Manhattan because a lot of the stuff we just didn't fully understand how to do. I mean, we were good trainers and we understood movement, but we didn't have the vocabulary to just instantly know how to do CrossFit. In addition to the fact that we'd never worked like that before. I mean, we were doing like bodybuilding or strength training, but it wasn't like CrossFit. So we went to CrossFit NYC. That was the first workout I ever did in CrossFit NYC. It was like the fourth floor of a dicey building.
Is that the box?
It was called the Black Box.
Yeah.
Fourth floor in the Fashion District of Manhattan. It's a tiny little room, and we did Fight Gone Bad, and that was like the first legit CrossFit workout I did because these guys were like screaming at me with a range of motion and go faster and this and that. And when we got done with the workout, the two owners came up to this girl and I, and they said, "Hey, you guys are going to the games this year. You got to start training for the games right now." And I kind of laughed at them, and I'm like, this circus stuff is fun, but, I'm a baseball player. I'm just trying to, get ready for baseball. And the girl that was with me actually ended up going to the games and finishing, I think it was second or third that year in 2000. Her name was Jillian Moonsey, and she was like a CrossFit superstar for that year, and everyone knew who she was. But as time went by that year, I decided that I wasn't going to go back and play another year of minor league baseball just because I had had enough of the Howard Johnson Hotel, and my training career was really starting to blossom in New York, and I had a good income, and I saw the potential to try and grow that and have something long-term for myself. So I decided that, I got pretty much as far as I was going to get in baseball, and I wanted to pursue my career in strength and conditioning. And time went by, I got busy with my business, and then about 2 weeks before the CrossFit Games in 2008, I just decided, I'm like, screw this, I'm going to go to the games. And, it was something, I don't know why I really wanted to do it, but I just wanted to compete at something because, baseball wasn't there anymore, and I was used to coming in the 8th or 9th inning and trying to close games and being like, trying to be a badass on the mound. And all of a sudden now I'm just like going home and doing the daily grind. So I really had a desire to compete. So literally without any preparation, I went out to the games in 2008. The second CrossFit workout I did was the first workout of the 2008 games. It was Chest to Bar Fran. And
this is all, of course, featured in the movie Every Second Counts.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the guy with the heart rate monitor. So yeah, it was amazing, and what I loved about it was I met the whole community, and I saw all these people, and I really saw myself in these people. I looked at these people, and I was like, I could totally be that guy. I mean, they had so much in common with me, not just physically, but also from a attitude and perspective wise. They were right on my same page. So the games was an eye-opening experience in 2008, and actually I did pretty good. I finished like 14th. And that was, just coming off the street and competing in CrossFit. And after that, I went and I started really trying to immerse myself in CrossFit. And I did all the certs, and I started training my clients in CrossFit and starting to train myself. And still, my information and knowledge about it was infantile, but I had a good knowledge of strength and conditioning in general, so that helped me a lot. And then from there, I went and qualified and competed in 2009 at the games in Aromas, and my love for the community and the sport and the way that it's grown is just immense. And I've made so many friends. I've been able to explore my capacity and physical abilities through this. It's kind of like a portal by which you can really explore what are the limits of your human potential. And I love that, and I continue to try and explore those limits. Um, and just that, it's kind of been a crossroads in my career where it's taken me in a distinct direction where I may just have been a strength and conditioning coach in Manhattan doing the regular status quo thing as far as strength and conditioning. CrossFit has taken me on a whole new path, and it's taken me around the world. It's given me a career on the certification staff. I've met a zillion people. I've had the opportunity to meet and talk and counsel with a ton of athletes, and I never intended to have 5,000 Facebook friends, but I got to say that I'm so honored and humbled to have those people and have them, interested in what I'm doing or what I have to say. That it's been awesome.
Well, Dave, I mean, that's just such inspirational stuff, your whole story, how it ended up coming to fruition and where you are now. But what I want to know is, why are baseball players all winning the games or placing so high? I mean, what is it about us baseball players? I mean, you're just one of a few guys now that have really represented the sport so well.
There's one answer for that. I think you know what it is. Baseball players, whether they want to admit it or not, they're all a bunch of dirt bags. They're literally dirt bags.
Bulldogs.
Baseball players are dirty dogs, and it's and they're hard nosed and they're scrappy, and they know what it means to come in day out and compete. Because when you play baseball, you play every day. It's not like something where you got one game a week and you're preparing for that one game to show up and compete. It's like every day you got to be ready to come in, and make or break it. And it's you versus all of your fears and obstacles. And then when that day's over, you got to be able to turn the page and go compete the next day. Especially for someone like me who's like a relief pitcher. You got to have a real short memory to be a good relief pitcher, because one night you'll go out and you'll be lights out, and the next night you'll go out and you'll just get your ass kicked.
Right.
And that's kind of the way CrossFit goes. Like, you're pretty much going to go and get beat every time you do a CrossFit workout, but it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit.
Right.
And baseball players can get hit pretty hard.
Right. Sure. Good stuff.